must be difficult to find the words, but what can you say about a truly awful day for your side?
No, it's not easy to say something apart from it's the darkest day I've had leading these players, and we weren't good enough individually as a team. Can't give a team like Liverpool them chances, and unfortunately we did.
Where and how, from your perspective, did it unravel?
Well, the whole performance wasn't good enough. That's for sure. We've created openings. They've had chances. They've been clinical. We didn't take our chances early on, and then the third goal, obviously, is the one that decided the game.
Do you and the coaching staff accept responsibility for the performance and the tactics as well?
It's mine. That's it. You know, the coaching staff, very, very good, brilliant, and I choose the way we approach the game. So, and today we weren't clinical enough going forward. There was spaces for both teams, and when you give good players spaces, they score.
You've been in football long enough. You know that you fellas in results business.
Yeah.
The pressure will intensify enormously on you now, and the scrutiny as well.
Yeah.
First and foremost, has that put any doubt in your mind at all that you are the right man for this job to take this group of players forward?
No, I've come too far. We've come too far as a group, and we're too close to give up now.
Too close to give up now, Gary. Do you think they are close to achieving anything?
I don't think they're close to winning the league. I don't think they're close to winning the Champions League. I don't think they're close to Liverpool, City or Chelsea at the moment. I mean, it's painful watching that interview. It's painful. You know, we see managers, I've been there for a short period, had to field questions like that, and it's not great, but it's part of the game. It's what you're there for. You're at Manchester United. It's a big boys' game. It's a big boys' club. And you know, you lose a game against Liverpool 5-0 at home, you're going to come under horrific pressure. And what I've got no doubts is that the club are a lot more... The club's different today. If this was in the immediate post-Sir Alex Ferguson aftermath, Ollie would be in massive trouble tonight. I think the club will hold the nerve. I don't think they've planned for a new manager in this season. I think they'll get to the end of the season. I think they'll sit with Ollie to the end of the season. I know there'll be a massive outcry from fans, from the media, from everybody that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be sacked. And I can understand that after that game, 5-0. It's nowhere near good enough. That was a monstrously bad day, and it takes some recovery. I lost 7-0 in Barcelona once, and I knew full well after that I was struggling. I was done. But I think this club is a lot more stable in terms of the ownership. I'd like to hear from the ownership more. They said they're going to communicate with the fans. They haven't done. I think now might be the time for them to communicate with the fans if they're going to back the manager over the next 6 to 8 months, which I think they will.
Do you really think anything's going to change unless the coaching staff change?
Dave, look, at the end of the day, you as I know, this team finished second last season. They've added great players to that group of players that they had last season. Everybody was buzzing 5-6 weeks ago here. It's now gone from there to there. So the reality of it is something's got to change quickly because they can't keep getting panned like that. City are coming here in 2 weeks. And, I mean, look, Liverpool have beat them off the park today. City might beat Manchester United 1-0, but it might be even worse because they might toy with them, like, you know, what Mayweather used to do, not let them have a punch. And that's the fear. What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks? They've got to get back on the bike quickly on Monday. The club are stable in the sense they're not going to sack the manager. And I believe they'll follow that through, even despite that today. But that brings unbelievable pressure.
You say the club is stable, and they won't make a decision right now, and I don't think they should. But you can change stable for the terrified to make a change, because they're terrified to bring someone in, like they did with Van Gaal or Mourinho, and it's not a Manchester United guy. So I think the Manchester United board right now, I don't think it's a case of staying strong. I think it's a case of actually panicking. What would you do? We don't want to go back to someone coming in and doing their own thing. But on Monday, I wasn't trying to be critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I actually think he's done a really good job to this point. But right at this point now, to take on Klopp, Guardiola, Tuchel, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, they need a better manager. Now, I wasn't saying that in a disrespectful way, and I'm not saying it now on the back of that interview. I felt for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, managing a club he loves. That would be the darkest day in his football career. Forget his time at Manchester United, his career, and he'll never forget that. So you'd always have that sympathy for a manager. And I don't want to get involved in a slanger match. You know, Ole said something back, and rightly so. He should back his own corner. But this thing of asking for managers to be sacked, I'm not comfortable with saying that word sack, someone should go. But when we talk about Manchester United as a team, we're comfortable by saying Fred's not good enough or McTominay's not good enough and they need a new midfield player. So I don't feel too bad in terms of saying Manchester United need a better manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't a manager for Manchester United. Now, he's done really well, but when you want someone to go to that next level or take them to a title or the Champions League, and that's not being disrespectful. As I said, as he said before, for 2 or 3 years, you've almost enjoyed what they've done, the players they've brought in, the players they've got out, getting better. But now you just said then, the big boys, and unfortunately, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will never be Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola or Thomas Tuchel. It's staring you in the face.
Do you ever stop and think about what somebody else of that kind of calibre could achieve with this collection of individuals?
No, I don't think of it at all, to be honest with you, Dave. I genuinely don't. I've seen Jose Mourinho come into this club and Louis van Gaal and been wholly disappointed.
Gary, can I... you say that all the time. Just because a manager before, a great manager's failed, doesn't mean you shouldn't be looking, whether now or in the summer,
Jamie,
to get a manager who's got a great CV.
Let me speak as a Manchester United fan. I never asked for Ron Atkinson to be sacked as a fan growing up.
I'm not asking for you to ask
Manchester United fans who love this club in this stadium today have not asked for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be sacked.
I don't want you to ask for that, and I wouldn't expect you to ask for that. What I'm saying is, Chelsea last season changed the manager when they won the Champions League, a top-level manager.
Chelsea have a model. Chelsea have a model. I didn't want David Moyes to be sacked.
No, I'm not asking you to ask for a manager. What I'm saying is you can't keep going back and saying, because Jose Mourinho failed, we shouldn't try and get a top manager into this club.
The reason the board will stay stable at this time and go at least to the end of the season is because of what happened with Jose Mourinho, with Louis van Gaal. They won't bring a hitman in again. A hitman that comes in and does a job for 2 years, they're not going to do that at the club again. They're going to stick with Ole till the end of the season. Ole's got to win a trophy this season. This is painful. Look, in any other club, he's in massive trouble tonight. In any other, to be fair, part of Manchester United's recent history, maybe, he would have been in trouble. But because of what's happened with Van Gaal and Mourinho and the change that's happened, they're not going to do that now.
But is that right because of what's happened in the past? How long are you going to keep going back to Van Gaal and Mourinho with managers now?
Yeah, but my point is, Jose Mourinho was the best manager in the world when he came to Manchester United. He was the best manager in the world. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it here. They've got that experience at this club.
So Manchester United shouldn't look for the best manager in the world
Conte's
because
available.
of Mourinho.
Conte's available. I wouldn't bring him to Manchester United. I wouldn't bring him here now. I wouldn't.
Why?
I don't think he's a fit for Manchester United. I don't think he's a fit. I might be wrong. They might bring him here tomorrow. I'd get behind him. But I don't think he's a fit. We've seen a coach with a specific style like Louis van Gaal didn't work here. I'm not saying there isn't a manager that can come to Manchester United and do well. And one day, if Ole isn't here, I hope that happens. But today, I personally feel a bit wrong to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today of the experiences. I sacked a manager last season after 6 games. It was the wrong thing. It was the wrong thing to do. I should have waited to the end of the season and let it breathe. And I think that's what Manchester United will do.